Hello, everybody. My name is John LaJoy. Um, I have a guest with me too, named Brian Cope, and he has his own show too. Um, so let's talk about how you became basically a Niner fan, Brian.
So I become a Niner fan basically walking around my house and looking at pictures and seeing myself as a baby in Niner gear. And one day started watching the game and actually watched a couple seasons before I was watching it one day with my dad and asked him, "Are you a Niner fan?" Kind of, thinking, yeah, but I was getting some, sometimes you're watching a game with somebody and they say certain things and you're like, wait, we're supposed to be rooting for them, right? So I asked him and I said, hey, are you a Niner fan? He said, no, I'm a Raider fan. And I just kind of like, really like, Raider fan, really. So after that, when you first start watching football, you probably don't know everything, and no one knows everything really, but you start learning more and more as the seasons go and as you continue to watch. So next thing I found out is, about more history about the Raiders and then, a lot of good stuff like that. But I was already Niner, it's kind of one of those things like once you go, I'm one of those guys, once I go in, I'm going all the way, so I had already had a lot of Niner memorabilia. People know me. They're like, oh, it's easy to buy Brian a gift. We just give him something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, because I'm not really super complicated or anything like that. I really, tribute to my grandmother. She was a Niner fan. She lived out here in California. I was in Ohio when I was a baby. I was born in Virginia, and we moved around a little bit when I was younger. And she sent my parents some baby clothes and stuff, and they put me in it. And those are like my baby pictures. Those proud portraits on the wall, right? So, yeah. I started. I found it. Moved out here to California. I was around her. I found out that they watched football a little bit. Still a little too young to really understand some of the things going on, but I got to see like the 90, 94, 95 Super Bowl with my parents, and then from there, I was just like watching football from there on out. 96 season, I didn't understand a lot, but the 97 season, and from there on out, I probably can't tell you really how many games I've missed because I don't think there's too many. I think there's less than this many fingers is like too many.
One more win.
I either caught the game on the radio or somehow I was able to keep up with the score. So I'm Sundays, Saturdays, Sundays and Mondays when the Niners are playing. I don't want to have anything to do. I want to day, So
for me, it's been 1985. I have been watching 49ers since I was a little kid. I was all over sports, so I got used to watching different sports, baseball, basketball, just getting into some hockey again and that type of stuff. But if you can't tell, San Francisco Giants flag.
Yeah.
And then I got my Golden State Warriors right behind me and that type of stuff. So, yeah, it was mostly me and my little brother, but technically my little brother is taller than me now. And he's a Colts fan. He was a Colts fan since Peyton Manning got into the league.
Okay, about 98.
Yeah. All my family is basically Niners. My stepdad is a Seahawks fan. Most of his family are Seahawks fans, except for one of his sister is a Chiefs fan, technically a Swiftie now. And one of my aunts down in California is a Broncos fan. So we are very rounded for the NFL. And so let's go ahead and talk about last week's game versus the Cowboys. What was your best play that you saw, or at basically at any times?
Well, the one that I probably will stick out and I'll remember it on like offense was the play where I believe Brock Purdy flipped it to Debo, then he went
Mm-hmm.
back, and then there was another flip, and he threw the touchdown pass to I want to say to Kittle,
Yep.
and that was a pretty cool play. And I would guess on the defense, the play where they almost sacked him, they almost got him down there at the safety. He was like, I think, sacked on the 2 yard line. I think that was Warner. And
Yep.
yeah, that one, I like those plays.
Yeah, my best play, it was when Mason went into the touchdown. Did
Okay.
you did you see what basically Trent Williams did to number 55?
No, but it did look like when Mason went through the line, he was like untouched all the way to.
Yeah, it's because Trent Williams used number 55 on the Cowboys as a
Mhm.
battering ram into number 11. That's why number 55 is out now
Okay.
because he has a neck injury, and I hope he gets better soon because he's going to be missing at least a while of football.
Yeah.
Injuries are not fun to mess with, especially when it comes to the neck and the spine. It's
Mhm.
not good, especially if you're like a lineman, defense lineman, running backs, quarterbacks. Even kickers have to be worried about it too.
Everybody, back and neck pains are not something that you want to deal with. If you ever experience injury in your back, it takes a long time to heal.
Oh yeah,
You want to, depending on the person you are, you want to get back and moving around, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes you have to force yourself to move around. I'm somebody that's not proud to say it, but I have several back injuries where I've not been feeling the best on certain days, and it does. And making sure that you stretch and do all the right things that you should
oh
do,
yeah,
that helps. But no, you don't want to ever see injuries in a game. Even if it's the opposing team, you want to see these guys, be able to bounce back up and you know.
yeah. And the best defense that I liked was Greenlaw superplexing the guy. Says
That got me a little scared because I thought he
yeah,
was going to get a flag on it.
same here. Because my Robbie's that's my one of my kids. His mom is a cowboy fan. So when we saw it, we was sort of laughing a little bit, but it was a good little rivalry against Dallas.
Yeah, those games go back. They really do.
And let's think. Oh yeah, let's make a shout out to David McNiner since I can see him on the in the chats right now.
Hey, David, thanks for coming. David's a great guy. He's got a cool channel, and anybody knows about David, he's a really good guy. He's in everyone's chat. He's
Mm-hmm.
true faithful, and his channel is growing. And
Oh yeah.
if you don't know about it, just type in David McDiner and subscribe. He's a great guy.
And since I have you on here, I'm going to let you know what. If you haven't been watching the Michigan game, I'm just looking at the highlights on the game and the scoreboard. Michigan 28-7 for Indiana U.
Okay.
Yeah, I have it on my phone.
Yeah.
So, what is your feelings? Should we have any more trades going on, or do you think we are good?
I'm not opposed to the team ever, wanting to upgrade and get better. You do have to think about what's going to happen the next season, but right now we're
Yes.
trying to win. We're trying to win now. So if they end up getting the missing piece that we need to get us over the top, then okay, I'm okay with that. But do I think we need it necessarily right now? I don't know. I mean, a lot of people want to say an offensive tackle, but it looks like our guys are doing pretty good. Then a
Yes.
lot of people want to say maybe another edge, somebody on the defensive line who can get to the quarterback or make more noise. That would be great. The corners, people are a little suspect of our corners because but our corners seem to be holding up.
Oh
So
yeah,
at this point, I almost would just be content with them rolling the money over for next year.
yeah. And the rumor about Frank Clark, because I just saw a post from basically John Lynch saying that they are not interested in him today.
Well, he does come off as a 49er hater.
Yeah.
And we could have got him earlier in the year or two. I think he went to Seattle or he's been a Seahawk and he's been
Yeah.
a Chief, and now he's a Bronco right now. And it's just, I know we deal with the Broncos, we trade with the Broncos, but
Yes.
I don't know if when you come out and you physically say that you hate a team, it's kind of hard for the team to be like, yeah, come on in, or even trust you to come in. So if he was to come in, there would have to be some kind of, I don't know, not ceremony or anything like that, where he says sorry or anything, but he'd have to want to play for the Niners.
Yes.
Not just accept a paycheck.
So what would you think if say if we traded for like a Brian Burns or a Patrick's
Surtain?
Yeah.
Brian Burns from the Panthers, everybody wants him. Everybody wants him.
Oh yeah.
He would be great. The Panthers are like rebuilding, reselling. Everybody's being sold there, right?
Oh yeah.
That would be cool, but I don't know if we necessarily need him, and if we need him, I don't know what he would cost. And again, money's not an option here. We're trying to win it all, but
Yes.
eventually you do have to pay him. And then Patrick Surtain, yeah, the Broncos are definitely selling everybody too. They're have you seen the shirt that's went around? It's in the Bronco colors. It's off of a That's Good Sports. He's a YouTuber. He's a big Brandon Perna. He's got a shirt out. It says "I'm dying inside," and the Bronco colors, and it's like I can feel it because the Broncos are not what anybody thought they were going to be this year. And shout out to Joe Stevens. He nailed it. He said the Broncos weren't going to be decent. He didn't believe in it, and he doesn't believe in Russell Wilson. And I can see what he's saying now. It's totally true.
Yeah. Yeah, especially having family up here in Seattle, I got to learn a little bit more about Russell Wilson, and he did a lot of good charities up here in Washington. But since he went to the Broncos, he's not the same guy at all. And I can say that one because I was paying attention to him. And now he wants to ride, but he can't ride no more.
Yeah, and I think a little bit of that too is he was being protected in Washington, where he had that ability to do the little bit more backyard football. Where now maybe he does have an injury where it's like it's holding him back or eliminating him from running, but you can tell the team they don't gel with him.
No,
they're not gelling with him. He could go to another team and do well, but the Broncos and him aren't working well together.
And with Broncos new head coach, it's like the coach is trying to get rid of a lot of people right now too, what I have heard.
Yeah, it seems like he's coming in and he's trying to clear house. He knows that there's a lot of contracts and a lot of things, and he wants to get his players in there. And sometimes that really bites because a player might really buy into the system, enjoy being there, and then a new coach comes in, new organization, office, and they want their guys. And sometimes you lose really good players because of that.
Oh yeah. And if you lose players, you can't have any basically like when we did our rebuild, we kept a few players, but in the long run, we got a lot of basically better players at the same time.
Yeah, I think when we went to rebuild in like 2017, we brought in like 42 or something like that, or 40 something new players, and you can only have like 53 or so many on your roster. We kind of cleared house, and it took us a while. When you let players go that are positional players or decent players, it takes a long time because you have to replace them with somebody. But the players we had in 2015 and 2016, other than maybe Kaepernick, everybody else was, I don't want to say anything really, like, but it's like we didn't have many good players because a lot of people they didn't want to be here with Chip Kelly, they didn't want to be here with Jim Tonsula, they didn't trust the organization after firing Harbaugh, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, Chip Kelly was a good coach for the Oregon Ducks, but once he got to the NFL, it was like, oh, what?
Yeah, you see, with college, they can have so many more kids on the field, so they can have kids that can just play for a bunch of minutes, and they're not tired because they have such a rotation of the players. But no, you can't do that in the NFL. He was making it work with the Eagles, but then
Yeah,
I think he got into argument. I think he had a quarterback issue, and I think he had an argument with the team after that. It's like if you can't keep your quarterback healthy, but they were making some noise over there.
yeah, and let's talk. Let's go ahead and let's start talking about this for tomorrow's football game
All
at
right.
10 o'clock. What do you think of basically PJ Walker, their quarterback? He used to play for the basically Carolina Panthers last year. That I
Yeah.
have found out. He's, but he looks better than Russell Wilson.
Well, he did play against us last year. I think he was like 5 of 6 or something like that. So it wasn't, but it was at the end of the game too.
Yeah,
Um, I don't really know much about him other than he's kind of really a backup quarterback.
mm-hmm.
I think it's really funny that he's the one that's going to be starting. We have Watson, and if Watson's not ready to go, then why is he number 2? And why is DTR number 3? So did DTR get hurt? Did Watson get hurt? Well, Watson is claiming he's hurt. So why doesn't Watson want to play us? Does he think he's going to get hurt more? And if DTR was really hurt, then you're putting in your third string quarterback who's now your starter. You don't have any healthy quarterbacks if this guy goes down.
Yeah, because the what I saw was it was going to go PJ Walker, basically the rookie next, and because
Well, it's
short,
It's PJ, and then it's Watson. Watson's going to be listed as a second stringer,
yeah,
and DTR is the emergency.
yeah, because I saw DTR as the number 2 today because Watson was out, shoulder injury,
Okay.
and it's like, okay, the guy is in trouble. Why keep the quarterback, especially him? He gets in trouble easily and that type of stuff. And some quarterbacks are good for staying out of trouble, and there's bad quarterbacks that like to get in trouble.
Yeah. Watson, he definitely made a name for himself. And
Yes.
whether or not the rumors are true or whatever happened. It's a little weird what happened with him leaving the Texans. He said he wanted to leave. They said they didn't want him to leave. He said, I won't play. Then they said, oh, but what happened all here? And it's really funny really weird that the owner's friend is a lawyer. The lawyer is the one who took this, whatever you want to say, attack, lawsuit battles against Watson. He's the one who exposed all this. So it's just a little weird that the owner's friend exposed all of this when they knew that Watson was refusing to play for him.
Yeah.
Watson could be, whatever they say, the horrible, be, everything, but it's a little bit, to me, it seems like if he would have just said he wanted to keep playing in Houston, this wouldn't have happened. This wouldn't have come out or been exposed.
So the Browns defense, we know who's a good defensive player already that we got to watch out for. Is he going to be lined up on Trent Williams, or is he going to be lined up on Colton McKivitz?
Are we talking about Myles Garrett?
Yep.
I believe he's going to be lined up in front of Trent Williams, not because it's our best player, but I believe he wants to go through Trent Williams. Trent Williams has actually mentioned that he is not nervous, but he's looking forward to this. He knows that he's going to be going up against one of the premier edges in the
best
league.
tight end, yeah. Because if I'm like a newbie out there, I would want to go against the hardest guy that can hit me, honestly, since I'm about their size anyway. And I would want to go against the best to see if I can get better than they can. Because their offense, they have really a few good talent guys, but it's not that much, by my knowledge.
Yeah, after Chubb went down, there's not much for the Cleveland Browns right now. There's just not. Um, they said Baker Mayfield was the problem. I don't think Baker Mayfield was their problem. I don't think switching quarterbacks every couple of years is the answer.
Yeah.
But injuries happen to all these teams.
Oh yeah.
One thing that's interesting, and people have made the reference to in the past, is the Browns are a lot like the 49ers. They are a defensively built team.
Mm-hmm.
They are scary, sneaky, scary good on offense. But because they run the ball, but with their injury right now, Chubb's second, prayers out to him. That's the second injury.
Oh yeah.
Second knee injury to the same knee. That's just horrible. I don't know. Hopefully he can come back, but at that point, I don't know if you would want to. And I'm trying to think of who the backup running back is. He's going to be the starter. I think I can't think of his name quickly enough, but he's played before. I want to say that he came from the Ravens, but
it should be Jeremy Ford.
Okay, that's the other running back. I'm not. That wasn't the one I was thinking of, but he should be able to play. He should definitely have some playing time. But,
or are you thinking about Paris Strong?
No, no, no. But either way, they'll definitely be playing. I don't know how well they'll get on the field, or they'll do on the field, because our defense is going to be fresh.
Oh yeah,
very fresh.
And let's talk about our new add-on guy now, Randy Gregg.
Okay. Yeah, Randy Gregg. He's going to be wearing, I believe, Trey Lance's.
Number 5.
He's going to be interesting, huh?
Yeah,
he's going to be on a pitch count? Is he going to be playing a full game? What's your thoughts?
I think it's going to be a pitch count, because they're going to use both them. Because if they have Nick Bosa in and have Randy Gregg at the same time, that means Colin Farrell would be taking a break. Basically, they're going to be rotating them a lot more faster. Randy Gregg will be a nice piece on the weapon. They are talking highly about him right now.
Yeah,
on the practice field, and we will probably see something on Sunday going against the Browns.
Oh yeah,
we will probably see some sacks or some basically pressures of maybe probably picking off the ball, getting some interceptions, something. Because that's my opinion.
I think he's going to be an upgrade for sure. It's not an upgrade, but he's going to be a breath of fresh air, right? He's going to be a rotation that we definitely need. And he's what? Is he a defensive tackle or is he a linebacker?
Defensive end, and he can play linebacker at the same time.
Okay.
He plays outside linebacker. So if when the guys need a break, we can throw him in for an outside linebacker, and he's tall too. He's like 6'5", I think.
Yeah, he's pretty huge, is what I understood. And we've been impressed with him in like the Broncos game, preseason game this year. So we've been watching him.
Yes.
The running back that I was thinking of, and I couldn't think of his name, is Kareem Hunt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's who they should be starting tomorrow against us. But yeah, Randy Gregory, if he gets in there, I'm definitely going to be looking for
Same here.
And yeah, hopefully he can get some. If he takes a little bit of pressure, they have to account for him. Then that's going to let someone else on the line feed right now. They can't block everybody.
Yeah, because it's going to be Hardgrave coming in, Nick Bosa, Armstead, Nick Bosa. Say if we have like Drake Jackson and Gregory in at the same time, or basically Colin Farrell coming in at you for a 5-man line. Yeah, that's going to be really definitely a lot of basic Pro Bowl guys coming in at you, basically.
Yeah, and if you don't have an offense on the other side of the field, the ball right there to I don't see this being a good game for them. I really don't.
So, all right, let's think of how many times do you think the quarterback is going to be on the ground or get a lot of pressures? A estimate.
How much is our defense going to pressure their offense?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, a bunch. Really, they're gonna. I don't see them scoring a lot of points in this game. They're gonna probably. They might get lucky on a couple of passes, that we don't get to them fast enough. But their quarterbacks are a rookie basically, so he's gonna have to
Yeah.
deal with, like we are a supreme team. We are a Super Bowl contender. That's where we are going to, right? We are definitely an NFC Championship team, right? We've been there a couple of times. We know how it feels like to get there. So with the pressures, with Bosa and then all of the other guys that we just named, wow. How many times did we get pressure on the Giants? What was it, like 80% of his?
Yeah.
I would assume it's going to be something like that, where he's going to be scrambling, and if we don't get sacks on him, okay, I see a lot
The
of
pressures count too.
Yeah, yeah.
just like basic kickers too.
Yep. Yep. If you get pressure, it does bother you. Some people can rise to the, but unless he's mobile, and I don't see him being super mobile, but unless he can get out away from our rush, he's gonna get hit a lot. He's gonna get hit a lot, and that's why I think they're gonna have to lean on the run game. But the run game doesn't have. If we stop the run, what are they gonna do? That's when maybe again, if the pass rush is getting to him, he's not gonna be able to throw the ball. So cancel the pass rush, get pressure on him, stop the run, and then he's not going to be able to pass because he won't have the time.
Oh yeah, I would say my prediction will be probably 83%. Of a lot of pressures.
Yeah,
I'm thinking maybe seeing about 5 sacks, if not a little bit more.
Okay,
and probably I would say. Since last week, I guessed 3 sacks against Dallas because I was expecting it. I would say probably 3 to 4 basic interceptions.
Okay. Yeah, we've been doing really well with it, like chip drills and stuff like that. They've been, definitely getting the ball hit up in the air, and some of them are coming down with it. I know Warner had a couple of drops, but then you see it, and you're like, these guys are using each other to tip the ball and catch it, and it's not necessarily this guy or that guy has to catch it. It's a team effort, and that's why it's like it's almost like when they're out there on defense, they're playing volleyball sometimes, and just it's telling you. These guys are really, really just they're buying in and they're focused. This is a team.
Yeah, did you watch the basic Eagle game last week? I know I did because I wanted to see what they are capable of doing against that one team, and I was not impressed by them at all.
So I've been watching Red Zone a lot on the weekends when the Niners aren't playing because they'll pop 3 games up there or something like that,
Yes.
or something. So I've been enjoying that. The only thing that I've been seeing out of the Eagles, because the Commanders played them really hard, I believe, and the only thing I've been seeing out of is the push. The Eagles are, that's the only thing. So if you can stop them, in like get them in 3rd and long, and they don't get 8 yards, or if they don't get a chance to do the 1 yard, 2 yard, 4th, and you can get the ball back. But if they have short yardage, all they have to do is push, and they're over. They want to call it the brotherly push, or
brotherly love push. Yeah.
brotherly. You grabbed my butt and pushed me over. So hey, I think it's a great play. If you can't defend it, well, that you can't stop it. So and it hasn't been stopped at this point that I can see, but for them to try to say other teams are it should be outlawed. Well, they've just figured out a way to
Make it
manipulate.
work.
Yeah, and they're working it. So and you see other teams are trying to do it too. But yeah, I don't see the Eagles being the same team. I see they who have they played, right? It's kind of
Yeah.
like us. We've played the Rams. We always beat the Rams. Well, they played the Redskins. They usually beat the Redskins. The Giants, wait until they play Dallas. Dallas is definitely going to play them hard. And if Dallas beats the Eagles and Dallas is going to the Super Bowl, everybody's going to
Yep.
say it again, So I can't wait to hear it,
Yeah, I think that Dallas is going to just may get a wild card position, but we're still going to somebody's going to knock them out.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the only teams that I can see, like for right now, the Eagles, yeah, they have a 5-0 record, but I don't see them being the same. Even last
Yeah.
year. Last year they were pretty dominant, but then there were some times where they weren't over dominant. Yeah, they struggled. They struggled a whole lot, especially at the end of the season I mean, their quarterback did get hurt. They put Minshew in. He did good. I love Gardner Minshew, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't see them. I see us being a better team,
Yep.
and them being a slightly worse team. I think maybe because of their coordinators leaving, and some players. I mean, we snatched a player, so
Yeah.
maybe that's the deciding factor.
And plus, I did watch the Ravens game last week too, and that was definitely a good eye opener to see what we could do against them. And I was chatting with our friend that is a Raven fan too. I forget his first name.
Levi.
Yes, him. I was chatting on it, just chatting. I was like, "Oh boy, you guys may lose," but they did pull out the win, and that type. Or no, Steelers pulled out the win on that game.
Yeah, and that's cool. But they do have a lot of injuries on their team, but somehow they're making it work. So the Ravens could be one of those dark horse teams that get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because the two teams I'm more worried about is probably the Eagles and the Ravens because they do show up when they want to play us. Seahawks chatter. There's some fans I'm hearing up here in Washington. They're a little bit nervous. Joe, I know for sure Joe Stevens is not worried. He's saying that it's going to be a good game, but I'm hearing chatter from like bandwagon jumpers or other people around here because my kids go to school up here, everything, and there's not that much talk right now. I think we may be hearing them during Thanksgiving, but not really.
They're surprisingly good right now, and they were good last year, and a lot of people counted them out. And I said, no, they got Pete Carroll up there. He's going to make it work.
Pete Carroll's good.
They do have Geno Smith. He might not be the best, but he's very capable, and he's shown that switching from one New York team to the next New York team, and then another team. Maybe that's what he just needs is a change of scenery. But because when you're in the same locker room, but you're on the different team,
yeah,
you're not really. It's the same parking spot. I mean, like they didn't even change your name. It's like
same bathroom, same type of food and that type of stuff.
Yeah, but now he's a Seahawk, and he is playing better. But this year Seahawks, yeah, I think everybody got surprised because they lost their first game. But
yeah,
they're 3-1 right now because they had their bye, and
yeah,
they just had the bye. So
yeah,
I know the Seahawks always play us hard. They play us tough. It's a very physical game. But I think right now we're just a dominant team. We're just better.
Yeah, I would say if we keep Geno on the ground, then it will be a lot more easier because right now he does have like a little if we go after his foot, yeah, he ain't going to be happy about it, but Drew Lock is sort of saved his bacon on the last game I watched. for the win, and then Gino came back in after halftime.
Yeah, and see, Drew Lock's not bad either. A lot of people didn't really appreciate him in Denver, but I thought he was really good. He just needed a little bit more time. You can't switch off quarterbacks right away. You have to, that's why when you start, getting a quarterback from the draft and you get like number one pick, you have to, when you insert him, you kind of have to give him, maybe let him sit for a year or two before you put him in, and then put him in. When you put him in, you got to understand, the team has to understand we are building around this guy. This guy's, don't like this guy, then maybe you need a different team. And that's a lot of players right now on our team. They can't sit back and wait for somebody to come in and be the new, the new one,
face.
Right?
Yeah.
We need somebody who can win right now. So waiting, we were hoping Jimmy would stay healthy, and then Jimmy couldn't stay healthy. We needed another quarterback. We went and got Trey Lance. He gets hurt right away. And then we can't put him in because he broke his finger. And a lot of people, he probably would have started the season. He could have, but he breaks his finger, right? Next thing you know, he gets a couple playing time in the first season, and then here it goes again.
Bam,
Jimmy,
yeah.
and then Jimmy can't stay healthy again. Next season, we're like, okay, well, we got to the championship game, and do we want to keep Jimmy? No, we don't want to keep Jimmy because we have Brock Purdy now. And Brock Purdy, he seems to be okay. Oh, but now he's hurt, right? Well, now he's not hurt, and the team believes in him. And we got all these veterans around him right now. So for us to want to switch a quarterback right now, no, this is the perfect position.
Perfect fit. Yeah.
Yeah. Not every time can you just bank on a quarterback coming in and playing as well as he's playing. And it doesn't matter, what draft he was selected at, what college he went to. He's making the throws he needs to, and he's running this offense. So,
and plus he's using his eyes to see everything. His balance is good. When I saw him come in, I'm like, who? Like a little bit nervous because there's a rookie quarterback that barely knew anything about. Yeah. And then he comes out hot and heavy for us. And I'm like, all right, that's not a rookie. That's somebody that has got a lot of experience.
When I first seen him, I seen him in preseason. That's probably when you first seen him too. He looked really good in preseason, but that's preseason, right?
Preseason don't count for me.
A lot of people, see, I like preseason games. I like to see the longer schedule preseason. They used to have 6 preseason games.
Yeah,
under 4. Some teams had 5. Now we have 3. I'm just, where do these guys get to get into football shape, game shape at, right? And there's people that want to say, oh, well, they get these game simulation practices. No,
joint practice, yeah,
the scrimmages. No, let's see it and do that. Go ahead and do that, but let's still see a live preseason game and have 6 of them. Oh, well, these players get. Well, John, if you have 100 players on the team, can't you rotate different players in with different people? And then, there's just so many different things you can do with it, right?
Schemes, yeah.
You go back to what I was saying, where we seen Brock Purdy in the preseason, and he looked pretty good. Well, then when we first seen him in the real game, that was against the Chiefs, and we were getting blown out. Do you remember he was making some throws, and then at the end, he tried to hand the ball off, and JP Mason and him
tripped. Yeah.
It's like, so those rookie mistakes have to happen. And, for him to come in and then play as much as he did in the Dolphin game and go on. The Dolphins is the team that he really
started
grew up watching. 13 is his favorite number because of Marino. Come on. This is almost like a dream situation, right? Come in and beat your favorite team and, let's go.
Yeah. It's like I just found out recently, Frank Warner was a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, he knew all the plays because he played it on a video game and everything. And when he made that tackle this last week, it was the same route that he was expecting. And he went after it back anyway. So I was like, hey, that's the only way to get back from a team that did not pick you.
Yeah, I tell you what, if I would have got drafted, because I played kicker, and if I would have got drafted and it would have been by any other team but the 49ers, I would have been very, very blessed and proud. And,
Yep.
but there's some teams I would have really been like, why did I have to get drafted here?
Yeah, it's like basically BA and Tafunga, big 49er fans. They were raised up 49ers. And they were happy when they got drafted by them.
Yeah. Yep. See, I just think, like some things you have to look at, and you have to kind of understand some players, they just want a job, right? Some players, they are destined to play for certain teams. And when Jerry Rice's son came in, his first son, Jerry Rice Jr., I think the Niners give his son a tryout, but I don't think he made our team. I think he plays for the Ravens. I think he plays for the Ravens, if I'm correct. And
I'm not sure. I know Steve Young is coaching his daughter's flag football team, and he loves it. He loves being around his kids 24/7, like you and me. We love our kids.
Yep.
And that type of stuff. Since your daughter's birthday is today, happy birthday to your daughter.
But yeah, we also have an opportunity to maybe get Jerry Rice's son, his second son. He's also a wide receiver, and I think he might be coming into the draft next year.
And Frank Gore's son is coming in at the same time.
Okay.
And it's Frank Gore Jr.
Okay.
And I believe he's coming in this year. One of Deion Sanders' sons is coming in, and there's a few other kids coming in. I have already been looking at them and basically scouted them. A good backup quarterback that we could look at would be, what quarterback do you think I'm going to think? He goes to the school that you like. JJ.
I'm blanking. You gotta tell me a little bit more.
JJ. It's the Michigan basic QB.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not a big college guy. I like Michigan because I know Harbaugh went there, but I'm more of a California team kind of guy.
Yeah.
I like Notre Dame because my family's from Indiana.
Yeah.
So, I like the Irish, and Joe Montana went. I like BYU because Steve Young went there, Bryant Young went there.
Yep.
And then Fred Warner went there too, didn't he?
Yeah, Fred Warner went there, and was a few other guys back in the 80s that went there too. I'm just trying to remember the name. I think it was like a tight end too.
Yeah, possibly. Our other tight end too, we should probably mention it. He just passed away. Francis?
Yes.
Yeah, we lost him in a plane accident.
And and it was not this. It was this week or last week. The Chicago Bears lost a big name old player too.
Butkus.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think
great player too.
I think it was right before their game on Thursday.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild how they played out. They really did. They played out of their minds against the Broncos.
Oh yeah, they played with heart. They left everything on the field for us to all watch.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all we got to do is play with everything and leave it on the field and just teach the guys, hey, you want to come and take us down? Go ahead, try it.
So do you have a game score for tomorrow?
49ers 35, Browns 10, 3-4 basically interceptions.
Okay.
And you?
So we've been doing the picks and the points, and I like to predict, and I've gotten pretty close on a couple of them. So the Niners have gotten about 30 points every game.
Yep.
And it just seems to be getting a little bit better and better. And it was
especially this last week, yeah.
So I want to say like 2 weeks ago, I said that the Niners were going to score like 30, 34 points. And I think they scored 35. I said it was going to be 34-17. It turned out to be 35-16. So I was just like 1 point off both ways.
Yeah.
last game against the Cowboys, I said 42-24. Well, I was right on the 42, but I give the Cowboys a little bit too much credit.
Yeah,
So
and I said for that game was 30-10, and with basically three interceptions. So I got 2 out of 3 right.
yeah, yeah. So this game, I'm going to go a little bit crazier, and I'm a little bit prouder of. I know the Browns have beat us a whole lot, but they're not the same team that we
No.
played in the past. But when we do go to play them on the road, we don't have a good winning record, and we don't score as many points when we go and play them on the road. So I still think this team's going to blow them out of the water. I think the Cleveland Browns aren't going to know what hit them. They're going to be looking for that bone, and shout out to the dog pound. But I think it's going to be 49-3. Niners
Yep.
win
And
49.
and plus, I want to see a lot of red, not brown.
Yeah.
Take over.
The Niners fans do travel very well, very, very well. So looking forward to seeing a sea of red instead of a sea of orange.
Yeah. So basically, what is your week's schedule for your next podcast?
I usually go live Saturdays and Sundays, do about an hour or so, sometimes a little longer, depending on the episode. Sundays, the show's turned into a little bit more of like a update, like a pregame,
Yep.
get everybody excited about some of the matches. Maybe we'll talk about some fun stuff like uniforms and, if there is any injury breakups. And then like Monday, I normally stream with Coast to Coast. It's a group of us, Aaron from 49ers First Takes, David McNiner. Yep. He has his own channel. So does Ty Austin, Stay Faithful podcast. Great group of guys, and we rotate the channels. So every week, once a month, we get to go live on our channel, and I do that and go on with Corey, like on Wednesdays, and then Thursdays. Sometime in the week, me and David try to do a show when it fits. We try to keep Tuesdays open. I do a lot of stuff with my daughter and on Tuesdays, and we just try to keep that an open day. And then David has his routine. I do a lot of stuff with David, and I do a lot of stuff with Corey and Ryan, and Jason. A lot of the good guys right there. So yeah, and then Friday nights we have a really long but it's a fun show. So
yeah, it was getting crazy when it went to Jill's site last night, especially with David Corona. And he was if you get the hit, he was high.
Well, so Friday night shows get a little bit lax and a little bit, everybody wants to be relaxed and to each their own. I know
have a good day.
I had a beverage, but I had to leave. I had family that showed up, and I had to leave. I wasn't able to come on the second part of the show, but it did. I did tune in and watch a little bit of it already. It definitely was a lot of fun. It looks like, but yeah, with that, there's like 6, 7 of us that we're trying to rotate. So we're trying to get a month schedule where every Friday night there's 2 of us being able to stream, and it's been a lot of fun. But John, thanks for having me on, man. I hope if there's anything I can do, I'll help you. And, man, super fun. I'm glad you started out. And if anybody doesn't know about John, I'll be sharing this on my Twitter and on my Facebook, and I'll let everybody know about you. Hopefully we can get you, as many subs as possible because definitely this guy right here, John, if you guys don't know, and this is the first time you're tuning in, he is a faithful. He's a father, and, he's also a good guy. So those are all pluses in my book.
And plus, I'm working to get more people or friends on the podcast, and definitely be tuning in during the Thanksgiving Bowl because I got a special guest showing up for that one.
All right,
and it's somebody that too.
Awesome, yeah, that's gonna be fun because mystery guests, but people that you recognize always help, and just keep doing you, grind, and as long as you're having fun with this is what it's all about, and thank you again for having me on, guys. I really do appreciate it.
And plus, I have all the free time that I can, except when I gotta go get my kids and that type of stuff because I'm disabled anyway, so I can walk, but my leg likes to give out on me. So and that type of stuff. I needed a little hobby to do, and this is my big hobby and that type of stuff. And that's how you get updated by me about certain people that's coming on the team, or especially when I sent you the photo with the Michigan of
Yeah,
Jake Moody. I thought you deserved
yeah,
it.
I appreciate it.
You're
I do.
welcome.
Having friends and stuff, be able to give you updates and stuff, and being able to spread the information because that's cool. Some people aren't into it as much as other people are, but um, I love the 49ers. I like talking about it, and appreciate you, John, for having me on again.
You're welcome. And anytime that you're available, I would love to have everyone on my station.
Awesome.
All right. Catch you later.
All righty.